This beautiful girl refused to reveal her face to anyone. What happened the day she removed her makeup will shock you. This story is about a woman who built her life on a filter, a man who loved what he could not see, and what happens when her lie got exposed. Amaka was one of the most beautiful women in Lagos. Her face was the kind that made people pause mid-sentence. She had the body of a goddess, the wealth of a queen, and the kind of presence that filled every room she entered. From the outside, she was flawless. But no one knew what it cost to look like that. Amaka had a strict rule. She never let anyone see her without makeup. Not the men who asked her out for a date, or even her friends who slept over. The makeup was her armor, her shield, the only face she trusted the world to see. She tested every man who came close. The ones who asked to see her bare face were discarded immediately. The ones who pushed were blocked. She told herself she was protecting her peace. But really, she was protecting a secret she had buried since she was 22. A secret she had buried so deep, she almost believed it wasn't there. Then she met Chuka. He didn't push. He didn't demand. Instead, he asked about her life. Not the polished version everyone knew, but the real one. He wanted to know about her childhood, the dreams she had as a girl, the places she had been to, the things that made her laugh until her stomach hurt. He listened like every word mattered. He didn't just stare at her face. He looked at her eyes. And for the first time in years, Amaka found herself wanting someone to see past the mask. Not because he asked, but because he made her believe she was worth seeing. After a year of knowing each other, they got married. The wedding was small, just family, close friends, and the quiet certainty that she had finally found someone who loved her for what she showed him and never asked for more. On their wedding night, Amaka stepped out of the bedroom after taking a bath with fresh makeup on her face. Chuka, waiting for her on the bed, was surprised. "Amaka," he said softly, "we are married now. There's no need to hide anything from me. Whatever you have been hiding, you don't have to carry it alone anymore. Let me see you, the real." "Why? Why do you want to see my face? Are you not okay with what you see?" She spoke, with panic visible on her face. Chuka stood up from the bed, walked up to her and placed his hands softly on her shoulders. "Babe, I know you don't want anyone to see your face, and I respect that. But I'm not just anyone. I'm your husband, your life partner. How would you feel if I was hiding something from you?" She looked at him with tears forming in her eyes. "You don't understand. What if you look at my face and leave me?" "Nothing will change," he said. "I fell in love with you, your person, the way you listen, the way you made me feel like I'm enough. Those things won't wash up because of something trivial." She still wasn't convinced. "It's not that I don't want to show you my face, but the truth is that there's no but." He cut her short as he cupped her face in his hands. "I love you, Amaka. Nothing can change that. Not any flaw or whatever on your face. I just want to see you raw, without any makeup." She looked at him for a long moment, searching his eyes for any sign of doubt she had seen in so many faces before, but she found none. "Wait for me here," she said as she went to the restroom to clean her makeup. It had just been few minutes, but for Chuka, it felt like forever. He sat on the edge of the bed, heart pounding, wondering what could take so long. He heard water running, a sigh, a muffled breath that might have been a sob, then silence. When the door finally opened, he stood up. His heart had been pounding in the silence. He had told her nothing would change, and he meant it. But he kept wondering what could be so special or terrible that she refused to tell anyone. What was she hiding that she could not trust even him with? He wanted to be brave. He wanted to be the man she needed, but fear had started settling in his bones. Then she came out slowly, head bowed, her hands trembling at her side. The woman who stepped in was not the woman he had married. The sharp cheekbones he knew had softened. The flawless skin was gone, replaced by something older, something worn, something that looked like it had existed for decades, even before he was born. Chuka stepped back. His hands fell away from her face as if he was burned. His eyes went wide, unblinking, as they moved slowly over her features, searching for the woman he had married, finding only a stranger. His jaw tightened. When he finally spoke, his voice was hollow, stripped of his warmth. "Who are you?" He did not reach for her. He did not move closer. He stood frozen, the distance between them suddenly insurmountable. Tears streamed down Amaka's face. She stood there, trembling, her hands shaking at her sides. Her voice barely a whisper when she finally found it. "It started when I was 23, she began, her voice cracking. "I was young, foolish, and thought I was invisible. I dated married men and told myself it was their choices, their marriages, their problem. I never thought about the wives. I never thought about the children. I just took what I wanted." She took a shaky breath, her shoulders heaving. "This continued for years until I met a man. His name was Amaka. He was handsome, successful, and promised me everything. One day, his wife came home early and found us in their bedroom, on their bed." Amaka's voice broke completely. She did not scream. She didn't shout. She just stood there and cried. Her tears were quiet and calm, the kind that hurt more than screaming. She looked at me and then she spoke. She said, "You will never die, but you will age 10 years every year. Your beauty will be a lie. You must maintain with paint and powder. And every man you love will leave when he sees the truth." She said that as I tried to break her home, I do not deserve to hold my own. As soon as she finished speaking, her legs gave way as she slid down the doorframe, crumpling onto the floor. Till today, I don't know whether that woman is alive or not. Chuka stood motionless, his chest rising and falling with each heavy breath. His hands hung at his side, aching to reach for her, to pull her close like he always did. That was his instinct, to fix, to hold, to whisper that everything would be alright. But his feet would not move. His face was a battlefield. Love screamed at him to go to her, while betrayal held him rooted. He wanted to be the man she needed, the man he had always been for her. But as he looked at her face, he saw the years she had buried, the truth she had hidden away from him for months. Why should he pacify her and just pretend like nothing happened? After this betrayal, the questions stopped him cold and stilled his resolve. "I don't know who you are," he whispered finally, his voice raw, script hollow. "I married Amaka, the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, the only woman who made me feel like I had finally found a home. But it was all a lie, because apparently Amaka never existed." His voice cracked. "You have been lying to me from the day we met. All the stories you told me about your family, all the times you told me that you loved me, all of it was built on a face you painted on every morning. You said you wanted to be loved for who you really are, but I don't know who that is, and I can't love a stranger." He turned away from her, unable to look at the face that was not hers. He walked to the window, then back to the door, then to the foot of the bed, pacing like a man trapped in a cage made of his own unbelief. His hands dragged through his hair. His breath came faster. She reached for him. "Chuka!" He spun around, and the sadness in his eyes was gone. In his place, something sharper, something that had been waiting beneath the hot, gathering heat. "I can't believe you did this to me, Amaka. You fooled me," he said, his voice low and trembling, with a fury he was barely containing. "All this time, I kept wondering how I got so lucky to have you in my life. All those mornings, I watched you do your makeup, thinking you were just particular about your appearance. I was a fool, a blind, stupid fool. You let me fall in love with a mask. You let me build a life on a lie. And for what? Because you broke a home 70 years ago and didn't want to face what you have done." A tear finally broke free, sliding down his cheek. "I loved you," he said. "I loved you with everything I had. I thought you were my future, my home. And you were just running out the clock, waiting for the day you would disappear again and leave me broken like you must have done to multiple men before me." He stepped back, putting distance between them. I can't do this. I can't look at you and not see every lie you told me to my face. All the promises for the future that I made to someone that never existed. She crawled towards him, her ancient hands reaching, her voice desperate. Chuka, please. No. He stepped further back, his face twisted with pain. You don't get to beg now. Not after everything. You had a long time to tell the truth, but instead, you chose the lie. Every single time. He grabbed his jacket from the chair in anger. You deserve this, he said, with his face crumpling. You deserve to be left, to know what it feels like to have someone walk away from everything you thought you had. She clutched at his sleeve, her tears falling onto his hands. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I love you. I never loved anyone the way I love you. Please, don't leave me. Please. He pulled his arm free. Goodbye, Amaka, or wherever you are. He walked out. The door closed behind him, like a heart closing itself off. She stayed on the floor, her hands still reaching for the space he used to feel, and listened to his footsteps fade until there was nothing left but silence. He never came back. Amaka sat on that floor for 3 days, waiting for footsteps that never returned. On the fourth day, she packed her makeup, her creams, her masks, and left Lagos for a city where no one knew her name. She's still running, still painting, still hiding. The moral of this story is simple. A lie may protect you from a lot, but it will never protect you from the moment the truth arrives. And when it does, it brings with it the weight of every day you chose the lie over the truth. Be honest, if you were Chuka, would you have stayed or walked away? And if you are to be in Amaka's shoe, would you have ever told the truth or let it remain buried? Drop your response in the comment section, like the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel